So that's
one of the greatest show openers we've ever had.
Right. That's how we're starting this one, huh?
Yeah. It's fitting because we're talking about one C. Montgomery Burns. Oh wait, wrong CM.
Charles Montgomery Punk.
Cookie Monster Punk.
Cookie Monster Punk. Yeah. Chick Magnet Punk.
What else do we have?
Monger Punk.
Man, I really should have wrote some down.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
Carpet Muncher Punk.
Ah, yes, Richie with the save.
Good job. Good job. Outstanding, sir. Yeah, we're gonna talk about. There's been some shit popping up about Mr. Punk. That has not exactly painted him in the most flattering light. But there's multiple different angles that this can come from.
Yeah, this will be fun. I got a Facebook message from a friend of the show and our friend Kyler, who was really fired up about CM Punk, and he wanted to join us on this one. He bailed. We'll get him on the next round and get him to, spew off a little bit. But I'll have to give him a little credit on that one. But we've been kind of talking wrestling quite a bit here, off and on, and obviously CM Punk comes to mind. And had a pretty big match last night, didn't he?
Yeah, CP Monk versus John Moxley.
For the unification of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
And the notable part beyond the fact that it was for the unification of the championship was this was supposed to headline their next pay-per-view.
Which is, and if correct me if I'm wrong, is basically their WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This was kind of the precipice of what it all started. This was, this was it for them. So this was supposed to be it. So I don't know. I really need to hear what you guys' takes on him is right now, because then we could kind of go back in some of his history, because not exactly a good track record.
Yeah. So Rich, we'll let you kick off. What do you think about the situation as a relative newcomer to Punk's work?
He didn't just re-injure his leg or his foot when he kicked what's his face in the head.
That's kind of what I think this whole thing is. I think it's MJF 2.0, and playing off of the history that Punk has of walking away from WWE. Because honestly, if you look back to when he showed back up in AEW, everybody was talking about how approachable he was, how cool he was, how good it was to have him there, and how he was like doing, he was doing everything that he should be doing as a mentor, as a
I thought he was doing AJ Lee.
Well, he's doing, yes, he is doing her. But as far as, from a veteran perspective, everything he should be doing to help the young talent. And it seemed like he genuinely enjoyed his time. And you heard all this good stuff. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it seemed like, obviously you had Eddie Kingston talking shit, but that's what Eddie Kingston does. Eddie Kingston talks shit on everyone and anyone. Like, I really don't know who the guy actually likes. He doesn't like Claudio Castagnoli. He doesn't like Daniel Bryan.
He likes Ruby Riot. Is Ruby, not Ruby Riot, Ruby, whatever else she's calling herself.
No, Soho.
Ruby Soho, yeah. So he likes Ruby Soho and the proud and the powerful, right? And that seems to be it. Like, he don't really like anybody else. So I don't really take what he has to say for worth anything. But then you start hearing the stuff like where everything that I've read has said that, it's possible that it's possible that there's some truth behind it, because there's the heat with Colt Cabana stemming from Punk's appearance on the Art of Wrestling podcast Colt Cabana does, where they ended up getting into a lawsuit with WWE. And then, Colt Cabana was there and was putting in the work and was doing stuff at the start of AEW. And some of the guys, Hangman Page being one of them, didn't take kindly to the fact that while CM Punk shows up and then Colt Cabana is kind of pushed out the door. But aside from that, everything I'd heard had been good up until recently, and there's so much that it just seems like it could be. Maybe I'm working myself into a shoot, or whatever, but it just seems like this could be a work to me.
Yeah, I think AEW likes messing with the fans that read the internet, and I think that's what this is all part of.
Yeah.
I can't picture him not being happy at AEW. I mean, I'm sure they gave him a sweet deal to come over, and I'm sure he's still. I mean, then again, with Triple H running WWF again, I know people are more excited to go back there, but I still think they gave him a sweet deal to come over to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's honestly a better fit right now where he's at in his career. It's a good fit for him. He does seem to be kind of back in his element, especially kind of surrounded by some of his fellow ROH guys too, from back in the day. One being Bryan Danielson, some others. But look, his track record isn't the greatest though, and I think I agree. I think a lot of it's a work, but I do think there's some truth to some of it too. Because otherwise, unless you're that great of an actor, which I really can't see that, something there is whether it's an injury or something is causing this. There's something there behind it that's.
Well, they did have all of their, well, not all of their, for a period of time, there were a lot of injuries going on. And I think it may just be that he's still injured a little bit and they wanted to, get rid of the whole interim thing, give it back. And maybe he couldn't he couldn't perform a high enough level match for a pay-per-view. So that's why they had to move it to.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of where I was leading to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm thinking too, is that he's probably either A, he's still injured, or B, he's re-injured, which either or is possible. And
I don't think he injured in that match again.
No.
That was all planned. Yes.
Yep. The way he falls off his because his plant foot was the one that he goes down on, not the foot that he did the kick with. So I think that I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, that's an obvious previous injury. Not to say that he wasn't in pain or any of that stuff.
They also did the same thing or something similar with Bryan Danielson when he did that first match with the JAS guy. I can't think of his name now. The Dragon Killer, they're calling him now.
Daniel Garcia.
I'm assuming he faked the concussion, that he was still concussed, and he was playing up the concussion rather big in that match.
Yeah.
And then came back to win the 2 out of 3 falls match, which was a really good match.
I think that there's a couple different ways that this could go. I think that either A, maybe he does have some genuine, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Beef.
Maybe some issues with how things are going backstage, because it seems like, and this is something, Rich, you and I were talking about before Tom popped on. There seems to be some issues with how backstage is running at AEW, which is why Tony Khan had that big meeting this week and has introduced new structure to the backstage, how it's run. And so maybe he just had some issues with that kind of stuff, and then that blew up into people getting their feelings hurt or whatever.
The biggest problem they have now, and you guys may not know this if you haven't been following the dark matches, is Bear Country isn't called Bear Country anymore. They changed their name, and they're trying to push them as a bigger team. I forget what they're called. I came up with a stupid name like the Warriors or something stupid like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it either. And they have a manager now.
Yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going around. And the other thing is, maybe this is playing into an angle where MJF is coming back.
I saw somebody say that online too, which would be interesting considering the feud they had before whatever happened to MJF happened to MJF.
Right. And maybe they're going to play into that somehow. Maybe that, there's so many different ways it can go. And honestly, none of us, Punk did an interview with Sports Illustrated recently. And he said that, in essence, what he said was, where are you hearing all of this information from? Twitter. Twitter's not real.
Mm-mm.
Twitter is not real life. So until he said, and I'm not trying to say this in a way that's macho, like, oh, come fight me in the back alley. He said, if you have a problem with me, come speak to me, because we can figure out whatever's wrong, whatever I did wrong, whatever you think I did wrong, we can talk it out, we can figure it out, and we can move forward. And of course, this is an interview with Sports Illustrated, so maybe it was all just bullshit, but he seems to really want to be moving past that all the shit that happened in WWE with, because this isn't a situation where I feel like he's trying to leverage his way out of AEW and into WWE, like some of the guys might want to do. He burnt too many bridges. Well, I won't even say he burnt bridges. He burned some, but WWE did a lot of bridge burning on their own. So there's no way he's ever, you never say never in wrestling, but that's one thing that I would feel confident placing a very large bet on, would be that CM Punk never goes back to it.
No, I completely agree. The Cody Rhodes thing was a shock enough, but it was not surprising necessarily, as a CM Punk return would be. I just don't. I agree. I don't see it happening. If anything, and this is a guess, some speculation, whatever, I could see them being kind of a more part-time, hands-off. Let's put him as the top guy in Ring of Honor. I don't know.
I don't know. They made Samoa Joe the top guy of Ring of Honor, and then you never heard from him again. So,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
I would like to see where they're going with it. I know that it's not easy to just pick up and start up a wrestling organization, but I feel like probably by now we should have seen more than we have.
We're going to see an invasion come all out.
Oh God!
Ring of Honor invasion.
It's you joke, but that's the kind of crap that happens, especially whenever they don't know what to do with something.
Tony Khan Jr. signed them.
It's gonna be what's gonna happen is Tony Khan's gonna buy NWA, and it's gonna be NWA, and then he's gonna buy Impact.
The Strand of Compton guys.
Oh yes. God, it's gonna be just as bad as the NWA invasion of 1998 in WWF. Yeah, when they had the new Midnight Express. Mm-hmm. With Bombastic Bob and Bodacious Bart.
We can bring back Ric Flair again for another run. And retirement.
It'll be the Four Horsemen, but it'll actually be the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse because the other ones are dead.
Yeah.
Well, no, they still got Arn Anderson. They can bring him out with Ric Flair and just find a couple. They just had Ricky Steamboat.
I got this. It's going to be the Four Horsemen from the WCW parody. It's going to be Kevin Nash in his Arn Anderson outfit with the prosthetics and stuff. It's going to be X-Pac dressed up as Ric Flair. It's going to be I can't remember who else was. I think Buff Bagwell was involved. He was dressed up as Lex Luger or something, but didn't know whether he was part of it or not. And, like
Jeff Jarrett's a free agent again.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeff's just as bad as his daddy. You don't need to be anywhere near any kind of wrestling organizations right now.
Yeah.
I don't have anything nice to say about Jerry Jarrett, and I don't really have anything nice to say about Jeff Jarrett.
Same. Honestly, I see him and Road Dogg. I've got nothing. Like, I don't want to see Road Dogg anywhere near AEW. I don't want to see Road Dogg near any wrestling at all, be honest with you. But especially Jeff Jarrett, because honestly, the only wrestling that I remember with Jeff Jarrett is I remember his Slapnuts shirts. I remember his yellow sunglasses that weren't really sunglasses. They were just yellow lensed glasses. I remember him smashing guitars on people, and I remember him losing the Intercontinental Championship to China. That's it.
Bob Holly wrote in his autobiography about his time down in Memphis when Jerry Jarrett was running the territory. He said the only people that made money were Jerry Jarrett, Jerry Lawler, and Jeff Jarrett. Like, he would pay his son, but Bob Holly was making like $200 to wrestle 2 weeks. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, no money whatsoever, but his son was riding around in a brand new Cadillac.
Oh, of course.
You know.
Jerry Lawler's still alive, right?
Yeah.
He's Tom's neighbor.
Is he still doing wrestling stuff?
He comes
he does
occasionally to
pre-show.
do like pre-show stuff. I think he still wrestles on occasion too.
Probably.
Does he still say puppies?
I don't think I've heard him say puppies in a while.
I met him several years ago. Last I heard, he was living in Florida. He was living by you, Bob.
Yeah, he's actually he did a signing and a meet and greet at the. They're not called the Fort Myers Miracle anymore. Now they're called the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles.
Ugh,
Yeah, trust
that's
me,
awful.
dude. The fucking mascot is the dumbest fucking mascot. I don't want to hear shit about Gritty or Blob or.
I like Gritty.
So do I. I love Gritty, but people talk shit. All right. So, Rich, have you seen? So, are you aware that there's? It's called the USFL, the United States Football League, and there's a team in Philly. Okay.
No.
So, there's a team in Philly.
Is this American football or soccer?
It's American football.
And this is so this isn't like the NFL. This is like its own thing. Is this an arena league or is this XFL?
No, it's more like XFL than arena. It gets played in the spring. This year
use up all my football knowledge. So,
well, this year they played all in the same location due to COVID or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. But this coming season they're going to play in their actual home cities, and so Philadelphia's mascot is this gumdrop looking thing with horns.
what's the team called?
The Philadelphia Stars.
Philadelphia Stars.
And it's called the Blob.
No, it's not the Blob. It's
just Blob. That's right.
Blob.
That's right.
Yeah,
Blob.
their mascot is called Blob.
Oh, and that's the stupidest looking mascot I've ever seen.
Right?
That is dumb. Yeah.
So
the eyes move. No, the eyes don't move. The eyes are fixed. So that's like
you know what's worse than that mascot?
What's worse?
Look up the fucking Fort Myers Mighty Muscles.
Fort Myers.
You know, you say that. You know what that reminds me of, Bob?
Mighty
The Superstars.
I love the Superstars.
And Roger Clemens.
I love the Superstars.
You know, I tried doing some research on it. You can't find anything on them anymore.
This guy looks like a bootleg Pokemon. The
right?
Mighty Muscles, like he'd be on one of those.
He's a Digimon
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Let's see.
Nexomon.
Okay, now there's some of them where it's a guy in a costume, which looks dumb, but then there's some of them that where it's just like a head with arms, which looks a little better.
Right.
I'm coming out of a vagina, and that's not
Ew.
a vagina. That's a muscle. I'm guessing. Okay.
His name is Muscle Man.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's so fucking bad. And they had billboards down here like celebrating the change of the name.
Do you know
I'm
what?
like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm looking at the one. I guess this is their team one, where it's him pointing, coming out of a muscle shell.
Mhm.
Do you know what Blue Waffles is?
Yes.
That's what it's coming out of. All purple and weird looking.
So fun fact, I had a
That's right, everybody. Google Blue Waffles.
bluewaffle.com.
I don't know if it's .com, but just Google it.
Dude, the previous mascot wasn't that great either.
No. Oh no. They've been terrible forever.
The previous mascot was a giant palm tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another
What
bootleg
the hell?
So
Yeah,
is this a
That was a
minor league
bootleg
team or a minor
Pokemon,
league?
and then Pokemon took it and made it into a thing.
That's terrible.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
But we
yeah,
know
dude.
from being from Florida, he's definitely not gay, even though he looks like he's compensating for something.
Yeah. He
Definitely
can't
not
be.
gay, though.
Nope. He goes home to his wife, whom he loves very much.
Yeah.
They have
And
lots
in
of
his church. Yeah.
hot sex. heterosexual sex.
That's just a god awful one.
Dude,
I
they're
don't know.
all everything that team has been terrible.
CM
just-
Punk goes home and bangs AJ Lee though, which is awesome. I'd watch
That's
that.
true. Getting us back on track in the most
Yeah,
awkward way possible.
You segued right back in that one nicely.
Yeah. Good job, Rich. See, we'll make a broadcaster out of you yet.
That's why you keep me for the
Yeah.
racial comments and
I was gonna say because you're rocking tits, but you know,
racialists. I'm trying to work those off. So we'll see.
On the Punk thing, it was something interesting about with him that I saw, and I kind of go back to the Ring of Honor stuff. And the reason why I say that was because I saw an article that came through Twitter or whatever that said that he had wrestled his last Ring of Honor match in 2005. And I just thought the timing was kind of strange given all the stuff that's happened. You know, that's why I made the comment of, well, maybe that's where he ends up flagshipping, you know, so because it was hard to believe that was that long ago. But that's when it was. So it was interesting. I don't know. I'll be honest. I've been a fan on and off of his. He's very hot and cold with that guy.
I thought I just looked up his age because he looked old the last time I saw him, and he's older than we are. So I consider that old for a wrestler. He's 43.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
not much older than me.
And here's a thing saying that the rematch is the main event of All Out, according to Cage.com. I have no idea what this is.
We say that he's 43, and I look at AJ Styles, who's 45. You know, who to me is still, I hate to say this, a still more better put together wrestler right now. So, I don't know. That's my opinion.
I only got to see him a little bit because he was in that, and I mention this every time we mention wrestling. But he was in that ECW version of the WWF version of ECW for a little while. I got to see him for a little bit, and then I just stopped. I just couldn't.
And he did well in that. He
Yeah,
did
he
well in
did.
that role.
Yeah.
You know, and I hated
him
the
and John
WW.
Moxley, not John Moxley, John Morrison.
Right. Yeah. I hated the
Like
WWE
match in
CW thing, but
AEW that disappeared. They have
Yeah,
too many
and-
people in AEW. They need to cut the roster or break up ROH like we were talking about. They need to do something.
yeah. Here's the thing. I'll go back on Punk's history, especially with Ring of Honor. And this is just me like thinking things through. You know, obviously, you know, we're all big ECW fans. Originally ECW, not the whatever inbred version that we got with the WWE.
Philly represent.
Yeah. So, but my thing is like you always had spiritual successors to companies, in my opinion. So, like Ring of Honor to me was like the actual spiritual successor to real ECW. I think the argument can be made that Combat Zone filled in a little bit of a gap there.
I'm just going to say that because that's the one that replaced them on Channel 48.
Right. But I mean, I went to plenty of CZW shows, and look, it was cool, but as far as like the actual artistry that, you know, ECW could put together with a Van Dam or Mysterio or Eddie Guerrero or any of those guys are, you know, CZW never had that. You know, they had the hardcore brutality, but they never had
Necro Butcher.
Right, exactly. But now Ring of Honor, though, you had Punk and you had Bryan Danielson and you had all these other guys that were very capable of leading up to like Adam Cole and whoever. But then I thought, like, whenever NXT first formed as its own entity, that could have been another spiritual successor. When it was filmed in just, you know, Full Sail there under the dark lights, it really reminded me of that. And the wrestling was good. And then you got the War Game stuff back. So to me, you had all that going. I think that's kind of like a good spot for Punk, in my opinion. Like, he would have been great in the original ECW. He was wonderful in the first run of Ring of Honor. To me, I thought he would have been a great fit in the original run of NXT. That's why I think he's such a good fit now in AEW, is that he kind of finds that nice, you know, wave of what's popular-ish. You know, and I think that's what he makes a good fit. That's why I don't think he goes back to where he's at. And I don't know, or at least WWE.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things go from here. I just, you know, I'm 100% on his side with the WWE stuff. I mean, to a degree, as far as with injuries and everything and how he was treated that way. And then when they served him his papers on his wedding day, that was bullshit. And Vince
Yeah.
can say, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know." No, bullshit. You knew. You 100% knew, dude. Don't.
Oh, not only did he know, that was his whole point. He did it on purpose.
Right. And then, obviously he's got heat with Triple H, and Triple H plays the good company man. It's like, no, hey, if he ever wanted to come back, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We all know that's not the case. He says what he's got to say. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know Triple H. Maybe he legitimately means it and he would welcome him back with open arms. I just have a hard time believing that as someone who has pride.
That much history with him too.
Right. I just can't, after all the stuff that he said, I can't see him being open to a Punk return. And after the lawsuits, honestly, after everything else, we're a long way from the Hogan and Vince lawsuits of the 90s and the theatrics that played out with that. There's some genuine anger and some genuine hurt here and some feelings of, that he was done wrong. He genuinely thinks that he was done wrong by WWE, and not just by WWE, but specifically Triple H, by Stephanie, by Vince, by all these people. And I don't think removing a few of them from the equation is going to change anything.
No. I don't think he comes back in any shape or form at all. I think Triple H in charge for the last a month or so now, or better, has been awesome. I've actually turned the channel and went and watched quite a bit of Raw lately, and back to some NXT, and they're doing some great things there again. And it's been refreshing, but yeah, you can only go so far with it. And certain people are just, you can't mend that, can't mend that burnt bridge. So I don't know, Richie. What do you think?
I was just, I don't know how I got onto it, but Abdullah the Butcher's still alive, so I think we should bring him back too. He's 81, and I think he only has like one leg. I don't know if he has one leg or not. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I feel like you're right on that. I feel like that's...
There was something like about that not too long ago.
Yeah.
And Johnny
might
Bench
not have any legs.
Manager.
He could be the manager for the Bloodline.
Who, Johnny or Abdullah?
Both.
You ever see that guy's forehead?
Oh yeah,
dude, they can hide poker chips in it.
Yeah, it's
was
awesome.
Just this cool, well, not just I don't know when it came out, but I was watching a video of all the video game characters he inspired. Like if you watch it, because he was really big in Japan, so whenever you needed a background character for a fighting game or a beat 'em up or something like that, they just based it on him.
No shit.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find I'll send the link.
Did one of you mention Johnny Gargano?
I don't know Johnny Gargano. And
I haven't said. We talked about him last. Well, I think I texted you that on Monday, Bob.
Yeah. So switching gears a little bit to somebody that's back with WWE, that is back with them, who for the longest time I was hoping would go to AEW, but I don't know, man. I'm excited to see Johnny Wrestling back in WWE and see where this goes, especially since he went after Theory.
Yeah, talk about someone that won the free agent lottery.
Yeah.
As he waited, and it's almost like he knew something.
Yeah. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. That's mean.
No, I look. We go back. Rich, if you ever get a chance, go back and look up some of the NXT matches between Gargano and Ciampa. Oh my God, they're ridiculous. Every single one of them. And now you've got both those guys in there. I don't know if you noticed this or read this, Bob, but Tyler Bate is now challenging for the NXT Championship. So he's over there after they folded NXT UK. He's another one that now he's only 25 years old, but he's got he's like 6 years of WWE experience now.
I just had a vision of the future, and it made me extremely happy. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus DIY.
And that's possible.
Dude, can you imagine a series of those matches? They would tear the house down.
Throw that at WrestleMania,
Oh,
and you watch
please
that falls on.
let that be a match at WrestleMania 40 with us in attendance.
You
Because
tell me that falls on greatest matches of all time. Because
I will throw my underwear in the ring. Or if it'll make him have the match, I won't throw my underwear in the ring.
Who's DIY?
that's that's a tag team of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, you got to look them up, man.
Yeah, look them up. Look any of their matches up. Everything's fantastic. Whether they're tagging together, they're against each other. Every single thing that they do together is just gold. And I've got the same feelings for Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Although out of that NXT UK thing, the one thing I was kind of sad about was that they released Trent Seven. So no more Mustache Mountain.
So are they going to when Tyler Bate eventually makes his way up to the main roster, they're going to give him a stupid name like Butch too?
I don't think so. In fact, I would almost wonder that Pete Dunne gets his name back pretty soon.
I was going to say we're done with that now that Vince is gone. Aren't they already renaming the fat chick? I'm sorry, the overweight chick.
Oh, Dewdrop?
Yeah.
I hope they give her back her name because she had a good name. She had a good name, Piper Niven.
Yeah.
And they called her the Viper. Well, they can't give her the Viper because that's Randy Orton, but Piper Niven is a good name.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real name, isn't it?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
think that's the only reason why they do on some of those, just so they can trademark
The
it. I
gags
think,
I was going to say.
yeah.
We need to own you.
Yeah. That's why the whole Austin Theory one, like,
Dewdrop's a stupid name, though.
oh, it's
Oh,
awful.
it absolutely is.
The
The Austin Theory one, I have a feeling it wasn't it because they didn't want there to be another Austin.
Austin, yeah, but it's still stupid though because they still call like his whole like what do you call it, the big
Titantron?
screen, the jumbotron thing, Titantron, yeah. It still says A Town. Like, I get for he's from
Yes, yeah.
Atlanta, I get that, but like Austin, I don't know.
Nope, it's Ass Town.
You said
Okay.
you actually didn't watch Dynamite, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't get to
Do you
watch.
I didn't either. I watched the I watched the
Do you mind
match, the
spoilers?
squash, but
No, go ahead.
They finally took. I got to see what that guy looked like without the box on his head.
Oh, Kip Sabian?
Yeah, him too. Yeah, he's back-ish.
Yeah, him too.
Did he have
They're putting him against Pax. He hasn't. Like, he interfered with the match. He didn't have a match. But
so is he going to be with Will Ospreay?
it looks like he's by himself, or maybe it was more like I said, they were kind of playing up him going for whatever title it is that Pac has. So he
Okay.
interrupted the Death Triangle. Will Ospreay, who's really I've never seen, or maybe I've seen Will Ospreay do it before, but he looked really good in his match with the Death Triangle.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
outstanding.
it was impressive.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
Is-
Will
was
Ospreay is going to
Penelope
be a.
Ford?
he looked young too. Like I have no idea how old he is, but yeah, looks like he could last a while.
Who, you're talking about Will Ospreay?
Yeah.
He's 29.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been wrestling for a long time too. He's just pretty much since he was like a young teenager. Yeah, he's awesome, and I think he's gonna be such a great, like he'll be a great find for like because he's Japan
Yeah.
and like other like basically unless you're like a huge wrestling fan. Prior to his time with AEW, he was like not an unknown, but
Yeah.
you know you had to be a wrestling fan to really know who he
Out of
was.
your mainstream, whatever. Yeah.
Right, yeah, he wasn't going to be like, oh, name your wrestlers. Oh, Roman
I was-
Reigns, Will
I was-
Ospreay. He wasn't going to be in that conversation.
I was hoping for Death Triangle to win the trios tournament, but thanks to Kip Sabian's interference, they lost their match. And Will Ospreay and the other guys moved on. The Aussie Express, whatever they're called.
Did you guys catch any of the back and forth between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega?
No, apparently it was like after the fact or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I highly recommend checking that out because I didn't realize there was genuine heat between them, and it's pretty brutal. Kenny like rips into him and basically says he can't lace his boots and says, you know, I set up New Japan perfectly for you when I left, and you did absolutely nothing with it. And then Will Ospreay goes after him and says, I noticed you're wrestling with a shirt on now. Is that to hide your fat ass stomach? Like just tears into him. Like they go after each other. So definitely worth checking out. You know, I talked shit on Eddie Kingston earlier. I do need to say, good on him. He did wrestle in some other promotion recently, and I think it was in Cleveland or something like that. And he donated his fees and everything to the Children's Hospital or to cancer something or like to some charity. So good for him, even though I fucking can't stand him.
Yeah, he was another CZW guy. That's where he made his name, pretty much.
It looks like he's a backyard wrestler. It looks like he'd be one of them drunk, like, let's do it, yeah, kind of things.
That's the funny thing to me is watching all these guys that actually were in CZW at some point or another, living it up on AEW, whether that's, Mox, obviously the champion.
They have the Trust Busters now. I forget all their names, but they have that one guy who I guess he was a football player or something that has the worst tattoo I've ever seen, except for Cody Rhodes.
Oh, Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah. He's got like Yosemite Sam on his over his heart or something. And,
he was an amateur wrestler, wasn't he?
And that Slim J guy they have looks like somebody who would have came from the backyard wrestling. He's not doing bad. Like, he looks like he wrestles well, but he just has this look like he's a douchebag.
Yeah, and honestly, I guess I shouldn't talk shit. See, here's the thing. I really wanted to like Eddie Kingston. I really did. He doesn't give a shit if people like him or not. And maybe if I was in his position, I wouldn't care either. I really wanted to like him because he's not like the typical WWE superstar. He's not like super built. He just seems like a badass dude that can just go in and legitimately fuck people up. But I just can't, dude. Just every single time he opens his mouth, I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I was going to say that they did that with the Sandman, and the Sandman had charisma. Eddie Kingston doesn't have the charisma. It just doesn't. Like, they kept going, and I'm glad they're done with it. Hopefully they're done with it. But they just the whole feud he had with the Jericho thing, it just kept going and going. Yeah. Jesus Christ! I'm going to light him on fire. I'm not going to light him on fire. I'm going to cut his hair. I'm not. Just go away.
Right.
He's like I don't know, and I know this is like comparing two different people, but I think because they came from the same place, he's basically, to me, just a step ahead of Nick Gage. That's about where not that I dislike Nick Gage that much, but I don't. Eddie Kingston didn't serve any time in prison, as far as I know.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so they did. Okay, that's why I think put him in the same cloth then.
Let me double check because I believe he did.
I know Nick Gage did, but
no, I know. Let's see. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Says that watching old tapes was what kept him out of jail and out of trouble.
Okay, so he could have been.
Right.
Whoa, the PNC Bank that this guy robbed was in Collingswood. I used to live right down the street from that.
Oh yeah, you're looking at the Nick Gage stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, like literally that probably in 2010. So I was probably living there when that happened.
Yeah, he spent several years in jail for that.
I didn't realize that was right. I think I even heard of that. Damn. Okay.
Yep. And then he shows up on an AEW and basically has a bloodbath with Jericho on TNT.
It's just bank robbery.
Here you go. Fun fact.
Bank robbery is a victimless crime, as long as he didn't hurt anyone.
Eddie Kingston was
meth.
Eddie Kingston was trained by Tracy Smothers.
That's why he's such a great wrestler.
Yeah. Let's see.
Actually, Eddie Kingston wouldn't be for meth because he'd be skinnier if he was on meth. He was a dealer, maybe.
Wait, was he trained by Tracy Smothers?
Yeah, he was trained by Tracy Smothers. He dedicated one of his matches to Tracy Smothers when Tracy Smothers died of cancer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tracy Smothers definitely isn't one of the Mom Liked You Best Smothers Brothers guy, right? This is somebody else.
Oh, do you remember FBI?
Yeah, he's
ECW.
FBI.
Yeah. He was from Nashville, Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the best. I loved everything Tracy Smothers did because I just think he was so over the top. He fit the FBI role so well.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, it was
Him and Tommy Rich were the best.
Oh, he's dead.
yeah.
Yeah, he died a couple of years ago now.
But yeah. So no, I mean that's the thing. Eddie Kingston, I don't think he's a bad guy. I'm just tired of the shtick of I hate everyone and everybody's a piece of shit. And dude, come on. There's better. You can do better. So
Yeah, I guess it's when people get tired of a gimmick, whether it's good, bad, you're the bad guy, you're the good guy, you're an in-betweener. And I mean that kind of what makes Jericho so good. Just keeps reinventing himself.
yeah.
He's a wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a wizard, Chris. I want to see him blow another fireball.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I don't know if I like what they're doing with Anna Jay, though. I think I liked her better in Dark Order.
Oh, they killed Dark Order. They destroyed it. They took everybody out. It's gone now. There's still who's in it? Uno, 10, and then the Beaver Boys, but it's cool, but I do like that they've got Adam Page hanging out with them again, but still, like, I don't know. They killed it, or they especially without Anna Jay.
They often, although it's been a while now, they were headlining the dark matches with the Factory. It was always some team up of one versus the other.
Yeah, well, that's what it was when I saw him in Fort Myers. That's one of the dark matches was Uno and I think Stu Grayson was still with AEW, and I think it was Uno and Grayson versus Nick Camarado and oh God help me, I can't remember who the other one was. Well, one of the other guys in the Factory. So did we mention the I know we talked about it before we got on the air, but did we mention the Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter heat?
No, I did see the Twitter silence though on the part of Thunder Rosa. So
yeah, so there's speculation that she might not actually be hurt. That they just kind of want to get her out of the picture for a little bit to let the heat die down, because apparently Britt Baker hates her, Jamie Hayter hates her, and Jamie Hayter Thunder Rosa was hiding in the bathroom because she thought Jamie Hayter was going to kick her ass after she broke her nose.
I'd love for Jamie Hayter to kick my ass.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you'd like for quite a few people to kick your ass.
HQS?
But, yeah, Harley Quinn Smith.
Oh, yeah.
You just even have to pay her. Just take her out to dinner every once in a while. I don't know what would be the worst punishment for Richie on that one, having to be seen in public with her or having her actually whip his ass.
As long as you don't have to watch any of her movies. Although there was a time, and I don't really, she was in there. I don't even think she had a speaking role in that, so it's fine.
Christ, it's too good. Any other wrestling stuff that you guys have kind of caught or anything recently, or that's really jumped at you? I know the Loomis thing keeps getting cool, Bob. I don't know if you saw that, where he's now kidnapping people.
Yeah, he kidnapped the Miz and his giant balls.
I love.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I like that. I mean, look, I'm all for Dexter Loomis being a creep and doing shit like that. That works for me.
And he showed up on NXT as well.
Oh, did he?
Did a little bit of a bit with Indy, so it was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But then he at the end of the segment hands her a note, and then gets arrested.
Oh, well. I mean, hopefully she bails him out. I want Indy on. I need Index to be the next feud for Miz and Mrs.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's where this is going.
I fucking hope so.
That would be amazing.
Look, Rich, I know how to cater to you as far as wrestling is concerned. So Maurice, who is the wife of the Miz, ever since she had her kids, it comes close to spilling out of her top every time she's on TV. Definitely worth a check out.
I can't believe the Miz became somebody.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
He's awesome.
He is.
I'm sure he
Really
is.
is.
But like I said, I remember him as wasn't he a tough enough? Did he even win?
He was on.
He was on the Real World.
Was it Real World or Real?
He was on. No, he was on the Real World. Really, the Real World.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then he was on Tough Enough though too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
But
the
he
first
didn't win
only
it.
tough enough contestant to win the WWE Championship and headline WrestleMania.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
didn't even win Tough Enough that year.
No.
No.
He was like a runner up or something, and he still ended up. He was popular enough that they put him on TV. But yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, the Miz to me is one of the best. He's one of the best heels in the business.
Yep. He's a natural heat magnet. He controls the mic. In my mind, right now, as it stands, he's a top 10, maybe a top 5. He's really, really good on the mic. Just because he's who he is, he's just an overblown, on TV of who he actually is. Especially if you go back and look at the stuff he did with the Real World, that was him.
Right.
But yeah, no, he's excellent. And then he just, he has good matches with everybody. It really is ridiculous. It's, I never would have thought that in a million years, but I always said, I came to respect Randy Orton. I grew to respect John Cena, and I've certainly grown to respect The Miz. So.
Yeah, and that's how I was. Like I'll always say this. I know people who love Randy Orton and John Cena. To me, they're boring. They're just boring vanilla wrestlers. But at the same time, you know what? They're consistent and they can go out and hit the spots and they're entertaining. So whatever. And I respect especially Cena, the work rate and coming back from injury and how much he puts into it and everything. So
I like Peacemaker.
Dude, Peacemaker's fantastic.
I still have to watch. I haven't watched that yet.
That's good.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
Stop
recording right now and go watch Peacemaker.
I should really hit the button right there.
You
Close
should.
it up
You should
and then,
fucking hit the button
done.
right there.
Watch it
I'm
as
out.
we're recording. We can do a
Yeah, watch
Peacemaker
it.
podcast. There you go.
We should do a Peacemaker watch along so many months later.
Vigilante's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I love, dude, that show is so fucking good. You got to watch it. Have you got, so, Rich, I think last time we were on, the first episode of She-Hulk had gone. And did you watch?
I started watching it before we recorded and then just stopped. I did watch Harley Quinn, though, which was also out today. And that was good.
Oh, I got to catch up.
A lot of King Shark.
Good.
Yeah.
I love Ron Funches.
Yeah.
I've only watched.
It was a very King Shark centric.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. So that's good. I have only watched, I think, the first 3 episodes of this season of Harley Quinn, but I've watched both episodes of She-Hulk, and I watched the first episode of the new Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen that yet either. Was that any good?
It was good. I liked it. It sets up a lot. And it's weird to see Matt Smith playing like just a cold, heartless, evil bastard.
That's cool.
So
you talking about that? Was it the House of Dragons?
Yes.
Was he as good a villain as Tennant was in Mr. Purple Man? Purple Man was good.
In what?
He played Purple Man in.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You broke up a little bit. Yeah. In Jessica Jones.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't reach that level of creepy because Tenet was just super fucking smarmy and creepy.
Plus the
And
character.
I don't think anybody can reach that. Like, yeah, Tenet was legitimately scary as Purple Man.
Gotcha.
It's 2 different kind of characters where, like, it looks. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it. But Matt Smith does a good job as a piece of shit.
It's on my list. I haven't finished Sandman yet either. I'm very slowly making my way through Sandman because I want to enjoy it. And It's like the most streamed thing ever on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I need to catch up on Sandman. I think I only watched the first 2 episodes of that.
It gets. I thought the first episode dragged. It definitely gets better after the first episode.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You said it was on Netflix, right?
On Netflix, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Sandman's on Netflix. House of Dragons is on HBO Max, and then
And there's a Lord of the Rings thing starting up. Like,
Yeah, that's on Amazon. I saw that. I saw that coming out.
so here's where I get kicked off of the podcast I started.
Some Paramount.
I've never watched any of the Lord of the Rings stuff.
That's okay. They were all right. They were.
Do you know how Randall does the Lord of the Rings stuff in Clerks 2? You've seen it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I started reading the books and made it through the first 2, and then started reading the third one and just noped out of it. Said nope, like I'm done.
Yeah, I read
Hobbit's
The
really good.
Hobbit and it was
Yeah, it's
like,
good.
I'm done. I'm not reading
I
beyond
like
this.
The Hobbit. The Hobbit he wrote for kids.
Right, exactly. I read it when I was in school, but I was like, I'm still done. I'm not reading any more of this stuff. Like it just wasn't. Yeah.
You know, I do have that I'm going to read. Currently, I'm reading Dave Grohl's book that he wrote.
You know, I have
Storyteller.
that movie they did downloaded and haven't watched yet. Studio 666.
Oh, I completely fucking forgot about that. I need to watch that too. But once I finish Dave Grohl's book, I'm gonna start on Mox, because I actually bought John Moxley's book for some fucking other reason. So I'm gonna read that, and then we can do a book club, guys.
There you go.
Oh boy.
I'm reading John Wooders, the Pink Flamingos Hairspray guy. He wrote a couple of books, but they've all been nonfiction. This is his first fiction book.
Oh, that's cool.
It reads like one of his movies, so it's entertaining.
Nice. Hey, who knew that? Who knew we would start talking about reading books?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Yeah. So, what porns have you guys watched? No, I'm kidding. What video games have you guys been playing?
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
Appreciate that.
I started Stray and never finished it. And then tomorrow, Soul Hackers 2 comes out, which I'll start and probably never finish. And then I traded in a pile of PS1 games that I wasn't going to play to get some stuff. And then while I was there, I didn't want any more video games, but they had a boxed copy of Tournament Fighters for the Super Nintendo. So
Oh man,
it is a horrible game, but
Oh yeah.
I needed to feed my turtle addiction.
that's cool.
Well, the Cowabunga collection comes out the end of this month, and the Shredder's Revenge comes out on physical.
I have it on pre-order. I have both of them on pre-order. I have I don't know why I keep giving limited run games money, because
Are you still waiting for that?
I still don't have my Scott Pilgrim thing because of the soundtrack. And then I ordered got like $400 worth of Turtle stuff. I had to get the big box thing that they had, and then the PC bundle that they had, because it had different stuff inside of it. And they had a vinyl soundtrack, which I ordered in a separate order so it wouldn't get stuck again. And then I think there's something else. Oh, they did an Atari game, Adventure, like a special collector's edition of that I pre-ordered.
Dude, it makes
stuff.
Makes you feel any better. I still haven't gotten my copy of Worms Armageddon for the N64.
Oh
that I ordered.
wow, that was last year.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I still haven't gotten. So I just got a shipping update on Superland, which I can't even remember why I ordered it. Like I legitimately, I know I ordered it for the Switch. Couldn't tell you anything about the game, but I just got a shipping update on it that they're almost ready to ship it, and I know I ordered that like a year and a half ago.
Damn.
Splatoon 3 is coming out soon, and I'll play that for a month. I know that, and then I'll fall off of that, because that's why I played Splatoon 2.
I have no desire to play Splatoon.
It's fun. It's a fun game.
I played the first one. I just didn't. And then Peyton got the second one because he really wanted that, and I tried it, and I can't get into Splatoon.
Yeah, Katie was big into Splatoon. She played it the second one anyway for quite a bit, and
I liked it. It was a fun first-person shooter where you didn't have to be good at first-person shooters. You just spend all your time painting the ground, and you could score big points.
So remember last week we were talking about I don't know if I was on the air with you guys and told you about it or not, but
It's sweet
my
girls are cute.
my Jesus Christ, my Xbox taking a shit,
Yeah.
and what wasn't my Xbox? It was my TV. So all of the HDMI ports decided to crap out. I fixed it, so that's the good news. But every single one of my HDMI ports, all at the same time, went out. And did I tell you? Did I tell you what happened prior to that though?
Your
Hey,
TV fell? I'm just kidding.
Little spill of beer down the back of it.
So I bought Madden for the first time since like the Xbox One, very first Xbox One edition. And so I'm playing it, and I wanted to play Peyton. I was like, you know what? I'll play on a higher difficulty than Peyton. Peyton beat me like 50 something to 5. And no, I'm not like it was legitimately 5. Like I kicked a field goal and I think I got a safety on him or something. So and then shortly thereafter the HDMI port shit the bed. So I don't know if that was like telling me, hey man, stop playing Madden. I was worried at first that it was because I installed RetroArch and that it fucked my system, but no, it was just the HDMI ports. Oh, speaking of systems too, did you guys see that in every other market except for the US, Sony is raising the price of the PlayStation 5?
Yeah, I saw that they're raising it. What I didn't read the articles on how much though.
I don't know how much. I saw it.
20%.
20%.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep.
Jesus.
Wow. So like in Italy, that's like 83 million lira or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's okay, because it's not like you can get one anyway.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, no, I mean, I just got an email that if I wanted to buy one, I could. Sony sent me an email about it. They're like, hey, you want to buy a PS5? It's probably totally not like full of drugs.
I was talking about games playing. I did download, so I've got the PlayStation Plus extra now.
I
I
got that.
downloaded the Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
I already bought that.
Yeah, been playing that. And I've realized how bad again I am at that, but it's fun. It's one of those few games I've been really terrible at, but I really like to play.
I don't know why.
I just put the soundtrack.
I bought it on Switch. For some
Exactly.
reason.
I had it for
I
the
know.
PS4.
I don't know why I bought it on Switch of all the systems I could have bought it on, but that's the system I chose to buy it on. But that's what I've been doing. Like, if a game's available, if there's not a marked difference in performance, I buy it on the Switch because I figure, well, if nothing else, it'll be worth money because nobody's gonna fucking buy it on the Switch.
Well, see, I get the stuff on the Switch just because I might travel with it. Like I go to my mom's house all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got several titles like that too. There's a reason why I bought, like, I mean, obviously other than the fact that I'm a giant Skyrim fan, but I have that for the Switch as well. But we even have a copy of like I think it's Tropico 6, like for the Switch. And
I bought Skyrim on like 3 different systems, including PlayStation VR, and never played it on any of them.
really,
They're just sitting
Wow.
there. Yes.
You know what's funny is, so I told Tom this the other day. I was listening. I've been going back and listening to a bunch of our older episodes, and one of the episodes we're talking about Skyrim, and Tom was saying how I guess I bought it again for PS5 and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, dude, I bought it once and they gave it to me for Xbox. I got it with my 360 because I had bought a 360 bundle that came with that and something else. I installed it, I played it once, and it like froze during the startup, and I lost all my progress. I said, fuck it, never played it again. But I got an updated version for the Xbox One for free, and then I got an Xbox Series X updated anniversary edition for free, just because I got it with my Xbox years and years ago. So
yeah,
so
I bought the PS3 version, and then I went and turned around and bought the special edition PS4, the PSVR, and then I paid for the upgrade for I think I paid for it. I don't remember how that worked out for the PS5, and then I bought it for the Switch. So there's like 5 times that I purchased it in some form or fashion.
I've played more Skyrim on my Amazon Alexa than I have like on a system.
I bought like Minecraft 9 different times too, but at least those ones I've played.
I
haven't
bought
played it in a while though.
for the PC. I bought I think 2 or 3 different versions of Minecraft. And it was all for a girl, and I never played it again.
I had it on the PC, the Vita, the 3DS, the 360, the PlayStation, and then the PS4. Yeah, 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's what I've got. The PS. I had it on the PS4, and then it carried to the 5.
Oh, and the iPhone. I don't know if the iPhone one was free or not, but
I've got it for Android. It was $7, so
Yeah.
it probably wasn't
it
free.
wasn't free. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really getting into it for a while. We were playing with people at work, like they had their own custom server and stuff, and then just well, you can drink and play Minecraft. It was like the most relaxing thing in the world.
Peyton had it for the Wii U, for the 360,
Did I have it for the Wii U?
for the Switch, and now he's got it for the Series X.
Yeah, I've got it for the Switch as well. The Switch is cool because it has the Super Mario
Yeah, skins.
pack to it. Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right, gentlemen. I think.
Doom and Doom 2 for the Switch, and I have Doom. I have all the Dooms for the Switch.
Oh, did you get the Doom collection?
No, I got them as they came out on the store.
Oh, okay.
I think I do have the Doom. What the hell is this? Hang on a minute. Stare at my ass.
Stare at my ass.
That is one of the things they sent me. It is the Doom collection. But I never,
from Limited Run?
I never.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. This has a button somewhere. Is it charged?
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like lighting up and playing the music.
That's really cool.
One of the few things they actually shipped, and I got it.
You know, I do have to order Day of the Tentacle from them.
That was one. I don't know if I ordered that or not. I thought about it.
I do need to order. I mean, like I've got it on my PS4, but I would like a physical copy of it. So I'll probably get the Xbox version of it, since and I probably won't buy the special edition. I'll probably just get the normal edition and throw it on the shelf and just say, "Hey, look, I've got the physical edition of Day of the Tentacle," or as we always used to call it, Day of the Testicle.
The Doom thing reminded me real quick of the people that halfway port is a wrong word, but they kind of programmed Doom for the TIs, the TI-83 and the TI-84. Yeah.
Did you see that somebody was trying to? They were trying to break the code for some kind of tractors or whatever, like so that because whatever tractor company had made it so that the farmers couldn't work on them themselves.
I think it was John Deere.
Some kind of computer program. Yeah, it might have been John Deere. So the hackers that cracked the code and cracked the system and opened it up installed Doom on one of the tractors.
It was John
That's
Deere.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's the craziest thing. Like a lot of we actually had one of our students years and years ago that actually come up with you remember the old crop rotation stuff? Well, he invented something by doing soil sampling, but it had to do with that, like where had the automation type stuff to it. And that's what he was talking about. It's like going around and like basically you hit a button and it just does everything for you, which was kind of wild to me at the time. But yeah, and it was all John Deere stuff. So it was that makes a lot of sense then.
Yeah.
I thought I used the appropriate nomenclature. I didn't call them